Hello everyone, welcome back to Namalax Bengaluru Presents Current Issue of the Day, episode number 182. Today, we'll be discussing about protecting Indian Himalayan region. Are we doing enough? In today's video, we'll discuss why it is in news and what is the significance of Himalayas, consequences of ecological stress, government initiatives and their performance, and also discuss way forward to address this ecological stress. Everything will be discussed in one video. Now, they are significant from GS paper 3 environment and ecology and GS 2 governance. Why we are discussing this news is because of the context, that is the Indian Himalayan region spanning 12 states and union territories sustains nearly 50 million people directly and regulates water security for over 500 million in the Indo-Gangetic plain. That is how significant Indian Himalayan region is for India. Yet, climate change, deforestation, and unplanned development and poor governance are pushing the Indian Himalayan region into ecological crisis, with nearly 50% of its 3 million springs drying up. This was according to Niti Aayog in 2018. Now, this has been aggravated. How it has been aggravated? The recent flash floods plus glacial lake outbursts in the Himalayan regions such as Jammu and Kashmir and Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh and the subsequent deaths and destruction showcase the significance of protection of Himalayas. First, we'll discuss why does Himalaya matter. First is their climate regulation. They act as monsoon barrier, prevents cold winds, supports agriculture in Indo-Gangetic plain. We all know the diagram of India. If this is India and this is the northeastern region, Himalayas stand as a barrier here. These are Himalayas. Okay, from Jammu and Kashmir, this region to northeastern region, Himalayas stand here. So what happens here is the monsoon winds which come from southwestern parts are blocked and which results in rainfall over the northern India. And other important aspect of Himalayas is that it blocks winds or the cold winds from the Tibetan plateau as well, which makes sure that India remains a tropical country instead of turning into temperate region. So the Himalaya plays a very significant role in maintaining the climate regulation. Next is water source. It feeds rivers like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Indus and supports dams like Bhakra Nangal. And it is also significant from biodiversity. That is, it is home to species like snow leopard, red panda, and rare earth medicinal plants. And also significant from strategic defense. That is, it acts as natural barrier. Border road organization projects improve the defense readiness as well. Next is with respect to hydropower potential. Currently, the installed capacity is around 46,850 megawatt. Potential is to reach 1,15,550 megawatt. So it is very important from the perspective of energy security to India. Next, on livelihoods, it supports agriculture, pastoralism, forest produce collection, and handicrafts in the regions of Himalaya. And also, the last but not least, that is cultural and tourism value. It hosts many sacred sites like Panchakeda, that is Badrinath, Kedarnath, Tunganath, etc. etc. And the tourism in these states adds 10% to state GSTPs or state GDPs. So Himalayas matter to us from cultural, economical, ecological, tourism, and all the strategic aspects as well. So it is very important for us to protect the Himalayas. Now, what is the causes of ecological stress in Himalayan region? First and foremost is obviously the climate change. That is reduced snow cover, erratic rainfall, and low recharge. Example is Himalayan snow cover declined by 16% in just 10-year period. 16% of Himalayan snow cover is reduced. As a result, the glacier availability has reduced, meaning the feed to rivers goes on decreasing. which will ultimately lead to drought like situations in the northern India. That is why the stress of this climate change is very significant for Himalayas. Next is deforestation and land use change. Soil erosion reduced infiltration. Around 159 springs dried in Nainital region within the 30-year period. Next, infrastructure boom. That is roads, hydropower, tunneling disrupt aquifers. Recently, Joshimath subsidence was linked to hydropower tunneling, which resulted in landslides of large death and disasters. Next is over extraction of groundwater. That is water table are dropping below the spring outlets. That is mid Himalaya village springs dried by 2019. Next is lack of recharge structures. That is the runoff is being wasted and there is no perlocation because of the gaggar and khadar particles. Next contrast is Dharavikas in Sikkim revived more than 1000 springs. This has to be followed in rest of the India. So these are the causes of ecological stress in Himalayan region. Next, we'll discuss new dimensions of the crisis as well. The new dimension, along with the regular or the classical issues, are glacial lake outburst floods. We have discussed about glacial lake outburst floods in detail. If you want to see glacial lake outburst flood, particularly on a particular this topic, you can go back to current issue of the day episodes and you can search it up. Indian Himalayan region has more than 2000 glacier lakes, 200 identified as potentially dangerous. The 2021 Chamoli disaster, which led to Rishi Ganga, Dhauli Ganga Valley, killed more than 200. It was triggered by glacial collapse and hydropower projects. Indian Meteorological Department and ISRO are now working on Gulf early warning systems, but the coverage is still poor. Next is landslide and seismic vulnerability. That is, Himalayas are the youngest and the most fragile mountains, prone to earthquakes because they lie in the seismic zone of 4 and 5. Himalayas are the young fold mountains. What are the young fold mountains? These occur due to convergence of two plates. In the context of Himalayas, it is the plate of Indian and Eurasian plate, which resulted in the formation of Himalayas. Since these are young fold mountains, the seismicity is very high. Next, unplanned highways, for example, the Chardham project cutting slopes vertically accelerated this landslide. Next, NDMA guidelines on landslide is there, but the enforcement is very weak. Next is the water security versus national security. That is drying up springs, water stress, out migration. This has resulted in ghost villages symptom or syndrome in Uttarakhand. That is because of this drying up of springs, people started moving out of the villages, resulting in the village becoming unlivable. Next, empty villages near LAC in Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh, which poses strategic risk against China. Army 2 faces water scarcity in high altitude post. That is why this is not anymore a ecological stress but also a significant strategic issue as well. Next, the government initiatives and the performance. Policy implementation and the government under Himalayan region. That is NMSHE. That is National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Environment or Ecosystem, which is under National Action Plan on Climate Change. Strong on research but weak on local outcomes. Himalayan Knowledge Network is still incomplete despite NAPCC being implemented way back in 2017-18. SAPCCs, that is State Action Plan on Climate Change, which is prepared by all states but they are underfunded and poorly integrated with the local governance. Next is Secure Himalaya 2017 scheme. Some success, that is snow leopard survey, ecotourism livelihood, community monitoring, but limited only to 4 states. Next is Spring Revival Initiatives, which is a multi-stakeholder coordination which was promising but the scaling is low. This initiative was from Sikkim state. Next is assessment. The assessment of the policy is that patchy governance, Good pilots but weak institutional convergence because of lack of funding and monitoring. Next, the ecological outcomes. The positive ecological outcomes of the government schemes is that 37 water resources, 74 biodiversity projects, snow leopard population assessment, and alpine wetland restoration. These have been the positives. But limitations are no system-wide reversal, half of the springs are still dry, forest loss still persists, and glaciers are retreating at 14 to 15 meter per year, which is a very alarming issue. Next is socio-economic impact. The positives are Secure Himalaya trained 2000 locals, women's drudgery reduced in spring revival villages, and also ecotourism incomes are emerging in these areas. The negatives is out-migration still continues, land rate issues still persist, many schemes do not penetrate the villages, which is resulting in ghost villages, which is resulting in issue with respect to strategic fight with China. Next, best practices and the success stories in these government initiatives is Sikkim's Dhara Vikas program, which revived 1000 plus springs using recharge trenches. Water availability improved to 40%. Next is Nagaland's community forest. Local tribal councils regulate shifting cultivation, balancing livelihoods as well as ecology. Then Bhutan's gross national happiness model. A Himalayan neighbor of India, it integrates ecology into development, which offers lessons to India. So, what should be the way forward? Integrate watershed and springshed management. That is scaling up of Dharavika style recharge to rest of the states. Next is green infrastructure mandate, environment impact assessment, seismic safety and eco materials in hill projects. Next, community centric conservation, empower one panchayats, women SSGs in water and forest governance. Next is renewable push, that is focusing on solar microgrids, avoid mega hydropower in fragile regions so that it doesn't result in seismic activities. Next is climate resilient agriculture, drought resistant crops, organic farming, market linkages should be considered. Next is focusing on sustainable tourism, that is carrying capacity norms for pilgrimages and eco corridors should be established. Next is disaster preparedness, that is regular glacial lake monitoring, AI based early warning systems has to be brought in. Next is Himalayan Council, a dedicated interstate body for coordinated sustainability policy like GST Council model, which will bring all the Himalayan states under one umbrella and which will bring decisions based on the consensus. So this has to be the way forward, which is going to address the Himalayan region issues, the Indian Himalayan region issues. So this is the discussion for the day. If you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Thank you and Jai Hind.